Good morning, Brother Love.
Hey, good morning, Brother V. Yo.
Yo.
How are you? I cannot believe that the rabbi and Zen monk finally got this recording material going. I have to say that the Zen monk did a better job than the rabbi.
Well, I think it was a concerted effort with, I had a pit crew here that helped us out.
Well, this is integration. This is integral spirituality. So Brother V, sweetheart, let's just think for a second. We talked a little bit earlier what we want to call this set of dialogues with the help of God and Shunyata, an open, spacious space. We want to try and do, I think, every Friday, a Friday a day.
Wait 1 second. Can you run that by me again?
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. For a second, it sounded like there was a glitch.
Okay. So I'm just kind of checking on what we want to call this set of dialogues, and when we want to do them. Which I think we want to do them. Do we want to do them every Friday?
Every Friday. That seems pretty good.
Okay, good. Good. So blessings on Friday. Good Friday.
Good Friday. Blessings on Friday.
Blessings on Friday. And let's say we'll go for what time works for you, sweetheart?
Earlier is a little better, but we have to synchronize for time zones. You want to make it 9 o'clock your time, which is 8 o'clock my time in Utah? Yeah, that would work beautifully.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so 8 o'clock it is your time, 9 o'clock my time on Fridays. And please send it if your lady of the house, princess, is there someplace.
Yeah, you want her to say hi for a second?
To Brandy. Let's say hello to Brandy. Oh my God.
Hello, Brandy.
Hello, Mark.
Hi, Brandy. Oh my God, it's so good to hear your voice. I'm looking forward to see you for Christmas and New Year in Utah.
It's so mutual.
So excellent. So excellent. We actually have to have a party for Rocky because it's his last day as mayor.
Oh, let's eat, drink, and be merry.
It will be a total pleasure to meet you. I completely look forward. That's totally great.
Likewise. Bye.
Bye-bye. So I think, V, we were talking before, and we were talking about the word, evolutionary. And the site that we just put up is called Evolutionary Spirituality. So you had suggested maybe to call it something like Dialogues in Evolutionary Spirituality.
Yes.
I'll be talking more about evolutionary Kabbalah or integral Kabbalah, and you'll be talking more about evolutionary Zen or Tantra, integral Zen, integral Tantra, something in that direction.
Right. Yep. And I said that I currently am liking the term Tantra more for my work, and that's why I suggested to use evolutionary Tantra as opposed to evolutionary Zen. And the Tantra that I'm trying to speak to there is not Tibetan Tantra. It's not the Tantra particularly of Kashmir Shaivism. It's a sense that Tantra is almost like a meta lineage. It's an understanding and a living out of spirituality that I think has run through all of the great spiritual traditions on the planet.
Beautiful, and that's the way that some of the scholars and some of the practitioners of Sufism speak of Sufism.
Right.
That Sufism is not a particular lineage moment in time, but it's there's Sufis in every religion, as it were.
Exactly.
Right,
yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And this comes for a moment from. In the integral world, there's been some discussion, about a transpath path.
Right.
You've heard that?
Yes.
My sense was, and this is just my sense, that for a transpath path to make sense, not to any particular person, but kind of to the deep soul of humanity, it has to be deeply connected to what's come before. It can't seem like it was just completely generated new in this moment. It has to, have its own unique contribution, new now, but it has to be partaking or nourished from roots that have come before. And when I looked, what would that be? I think it's Tantra. All of the religious traditions have informed each other and have shared teachings and have been integrated and mixed together historically for a long time. So I think that Tantra, that there was a Christian Tantra, there was a Jewish Tantra, there's definitely an Islamic Tantra, there's a Buddhist Tantra, and I'm kind of interested in that kind of tantric movement.
Beautiful. I mean, the word, it's beautiful. The word tantra itself, if I recall, in Sanskrit means to expand.
Mm-hmm.
And there's kind of a notion that Rabbi Cook was is an unfair way to phrase them, but for those that will help them contextualize them, I would call him a Jewish Aurobindo.
Nice.
In a number of dialogues I did with Ken Wilber, we talked about kind of Rabbi Cook as a Jewish Aurobindo. So he has a beautiful, beautiful phrase, where he says, Merchavim, merchavim ifta nafshi. For the expanded places, my soul yearns. And I think that one of the reasons that people don't identify today with much of religious tradition, and again, when I say people, I mean, a particular sector of people. If we were talking in terms of levels of consciousness, I would say we would be talking about orange, which is kind of, business, capitalism, meritocracy, green, which is, the kind of spiritual, conflict resolution, New Age, Northeastern University world, those two worlds, which are very powerful and strong in the world of what Ray called the cultural creative. A lot of that world are either unchurched or only culturally churched, only kind of pro forma churched. And I think part of the reason is it's not about, whether science and religion fit together. It's not about, whether dogma works or doesn't. It's about how do I feel when I engage the tradition? Do I feel somehow smaller? Do I feel somehow shrunken? Do I feel somehow that something in my alignment is violated? Do I feel that my natural expansion, when I say expansion, I'm not talking about boundary breaking. I'm talking about my natural kind of soul expansiveness.
Right.
Does the encounter with spirit facilitate that? Does it allow me to be my fullest self? And my fullest self really is, as Joseph Smith points out, in Salt Lake City, I've been reading Joseph Smith, my fullest self is my expanded divine self. Right? We're not talking about a kind of narcissistic fulfillment of ego, under the guise of spirit, which is so often what New Age religion is. We're talking about a genuine expansion, right, of my deepest self with a capital S, which is the most genuine way where I begin to incarnate and live and act divinity in the world. So that's I think, that's how I'm understanding your discussion about Tantra.
Yeah. For me, also, I think that once you put something like Tantra out there, because it's so broad, because it's so expansive, it helps you to get. It also is helpful then to put something out that will give you a sense of direction, almost like a compass, maybe to navigate the territory.
Okay.
And one of the ways that I think of that is that for a movement to be a tantric movement, for it to be a tantra, it needs to include at least three essential domains, three essential elements. And this first kind of arose when I was asked, if you were to list three words that should sum up, or three brief phrases that would sum up what you're most passionate about, what you're most alive for, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you could even say here, your soul's most expansive.
Good.
And initially I said God, suchness, and meaning making. But God, suchness, and meaning making is not that catchy. And
God, suchness,
and meaning making. And these can either be charged or somewhat obscure terms. So as I've worked this through more and more, currently I think of it as spirit, suchness, And the third term